Okay, I got this. Walkabout Mini Golf, a VR game where you can putt some golf balls alone or with friends. What's the recommendation? Hi, I'm Crelypsis. You can call me Crelly if you want. Let's get into it. The fast review, if you're just here to decide whether this is a game that should be on your radar, is 9.5 out of 10 space lollipops from me. I think if you like the idea of mini golf and some extra added gems like their version of an Easter egg hunt and some riddle type mini games, that this is a VR game everyone should consider adding to their library. I personally play it and I keep coming back to it, and I have a great time when I load in with my friends. Now, getting into the longer form review, I'm going to be talking through the following points. My initial impressions when I first load into the game, the look and the vibes, the immediate feel and comfort, gameplay, replayability, and then finally, would I change anything? Do I have any suggestions or considerations? Random thoughts, you know? Jumping right in with initial impressions, Sarah Vos and I loaded into Walkabout. Right off the bat, I want to acknowledge that I have played this game for about 30 hours at this point, and it was one of the first VR titles I snagged last year. The low poly style is beautifully executed, and getting to take it in right when you load into the game's lobby / tutorial / menu zone is a smart move, I think. You can jump right into learning controls, customizing your floating head avatar, practicing at the driving range, or tutorial putts right across the bridge. That really leads to the look and vibes. The vibrant colors and cartoony cuteness makes me want to just explore. One of my favorite things to do in Walkabout is just bobbing to the cute world tunes and flying around looking at the detail Mighty Coconut managed to get in such a stylized game. Getting into the immediate comfort of the game and controls, the golfing feels hearty and has oomph. If you've ever played VR Chat's Putt Putt Pond, I can say it feels very different from it. I love Putt Putt, I've putted Putt Putt, but the impact you have on your ball in Walkabout just feels right and how I think you want it to feel. You feel like you're making contact. In terms of movement, this is a little harder to describe as I have been playing for months now, but I do remember initially that the controls felt a little weird for me. I had played VR Chat prior to this as well as Skyrim VR, I think, so I did have my VR sea legs adjusted for already. Walkabout just had a different locomotion type movement that I wasn't used to as it only uses one controller in game. So you have your single floating hand on whichever side is your preference, and when you toggle forward for movement, the direction you move is based on the direction your putter is pointing. I think for a little while during my first few times playing, I was trying to move based on my head direction instead. My life got a lot easier when I realized it was putt directional. With all that said, if you're looking for pure comfort and beginner levels of VR movement, they do have snap turn settings as well as teleport movements. Also, they seem to encourage us to fly around and explore in the middle of putts, as you can easily hit the index trigger from anywhere on the map and instantly be teleported back to the hole you're on. So we have to talk about probably one of, if not my favorite aspects of this game. The flying mechanics. No, seriously. I can't describe how much I love flying around in this game. You just point your putter up and move forward on toggle and boom, you're flying. It feels so cool. So freaking cool, I can't. Beware, I have pretty decent VR legs. VR. And the flying can definitely lead to some intense motion sickness if you're not used to it. So think about adjusting your movement speed settings and just go slow. Consider taking breaks when you need, and often with any VR game as you're ramping up on your playtime. More gameplay aspects include customizing your floating head, in-game avatar. It's not the prettiest, most aesthetic version of my Crelly persona, but I really have grown to appreciate how cute my friends and I are in here. Choosing a map to dive into is easy as it's all right there in that starting zone at the beginning of the game. You have a default map to choose from, and below that is the hard revamp with a harder to complete course, as well as some sort of aesthetic adjustment, like the weather will change for the hard map, or it'll be nighttime with new decorations and lighting. It's very exciting to experience. I believe you unlock the hard map version by collecting at least 10 lost balls on the default course. And to briefly touch on the lost ball Easter egg hunt sort of thing, I love it. It's such a cute way to keep yourself busy while you're waiting for your friends to putt or whatever. And it adds a nice personalized element when you get to choose little things like which ball or putter you're using when you play. And doing the fox hunt riddles on the hard version of courses unlocks some really cool and unique putters. They're like little trophies in a way, and it's cute seeing all your collectibles on display in that starting zone when loading in. My friend and I planned sessions of Walkabout just to hunt for the lost balls and to do the fox hunt. It's very enjoyable. If I'm honest, these two side goals are definitely where I tend to have the most fun with Walkabout. Whenever Mighty Coconut comes out with a new map, I can't wait to throw money at them so I can dive in and explore. Pun intended, since recently, at the time of filming, Atlantis in their Lost Cities collection has now been released. I pop in real quick here for the first time, but I don't stick around since some maps can trigger mild to I've had intense bouts of thalassophobia, so keep that in mind. I think that's an issue with a lot of VR games, and when you clip out of bounds or are able to explore a little further than intended, which is very easy since you can fly around. So replayability, I've mentioned already, but yeah, I replay and I come back to Walkabout often. And I follow their new course releases. I love this game. It's a wonderful experience, and there's so much charm. So, final thoughts, and do I have any feedback or considerations? Let's see. But yeah, if I had any suggestions on what I would change with the game, that's kind of a segment I want to test out. What would I change? Not much. If I'm just throwing random brain out there, like to add to the replayability, I mean, I'm here regardless, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Well, let's turn that hut over there into a clothing and accessory shop. And every time I play a map, give me some sort of in-game currency based on how well I putted it that I can spend on new hats, new hands, new hair, new things to stick on my face. Like, add to the replayability, make me want to go back and putt, and give me some like in-game tokens to spend on a couple low poly new earrings, All in all, Walkabout Mini Golf has my recommendation. Thanks for listening to my perspective, and I hope it helps you decide if this VR title is right for you. Bye!
Maybe not the most phobia-friendly for those with a deep water fear, but...
yeah, I mean, you gotta know yourself.
You can skip them, you don't gotta play them. Or
Sometimes
maybe have a friend help you out.
Sometimes I fly too far on these maps just to see how far I can go, and I start giving myself that kind of like liminal space feeling. So I think that's just a VR thing.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because
no, I can't.
I'm gonna find the ocean bottom.
I can't. That's scary. Oh, come back! I'm freaking myself out. I need to go back to land.
See how much fun we just had? We're not even doing anything.